Hi everyone, welcome to my Facebook Live with Whole Earth. So today we're going to be talking about all things motivation, energy management, goal setting, and we might even be eating some delicious peanut butter snacks. First of all, I wanted to say thanks so much for joining us today. A load of you have been submitting your goals to us this January. This whole campaign that I've been working on with Whole Earth has been about helping you achieve your goals, helping you give some general motivation and energy advice. I'm not a qualified nutritionalist, but I do care a lot about my nutrition, a lot about my training, a lot about my general ability to achieve goals and to be someone that is motivated and energized. And I've made a lot of changes in my life over the last few years, and I'm hoping today that I can share some of the things that I do on a regular basis with you to help you achieve your goals, go out there, completely and utterly smash this year, and have the best year that you can. So a little bit about me, for those of you who don't know me. My name is Sophie, as I said. I'm an endurance athlete and a blogger. You can find me on social media, which is at Challenge Sophie, and my blog is challengesophie.com. So when I was 22, I graduated from university and I fell into a job in sales in a technology startup. And I very quickly felt quite confined, like quite boxed in. I knew that I wanted to achieve great things, but I was 22 and there was a limit to what I could do there. So I decided to find a challenge outside of my work to plug all my energy into, and I found this incredible adventure race in the jungle of Borneo. So I signed up for this adventure race, I started training for it, I got a bike, I started commuting across London, I did British military fitness training, I started learning about nutrition and changing up my diet, and then I went on this adventure. I spent a week racing through the jungle, and it completely and utterly changed my life. It was the first time that I'd basically set myself a goal that seemed completely and utterly crazy and gone out and achieved it. And what I learned in the jungle totally changed my life forever. I think it was this a way to basically harness and build my self-belief and my confidence, and it was the first time that I started to work on that and realise that actually these aren't things that we're just born with. We don't just wake up feeling confident or believing in ourselves, even though it's something that we talk about so much and we read about and we try to learn about. I believe that the only way that we can actually improve that is to go out there and put ourselves into situations that are challenging, that feel hard, that are scary, and prove to ourselves that we can go out there and we can do these things that seem impossible, because I know that you guys totally and utterly can. So this led me on this incredible journey to start doing all these challenges. I started cycling London to Paris in 24 hours. I learned to climb mountains. I went and climbed Mont Blanc. Then I ended up quitting my job a couple of years later and starting writing my blog and focusing on the things I absolutely loved in life. And it's been an absolutely phenomenal journey and has brought me here today. So before we get started on going through your questions and your goals that you've already submitted to us, I'd just like to share with you my top 3 tips on basically hopefully being a badass, achieving your goals, and staying motivated no matter what life throws at you. Now, my absolute number 1 tip is to harness your why. Before you even think about something that you want to do or that you want to achieve or way that you want to change or even a plan to get there, you have to think about why that's important to you, because when the going gets tough, when it's hard, or you run out of money, or you're lonely, or you're scared, or anything is going wrong, you really, 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 really need to dig deep into that personal motivation of yours and know why this is the most important thing to you and why you are committed and dedicated to that goal. The second thing is that you need to commit and put the work in. This is not about short-term fixes. This is not about overnight success. I am here to champion positive, long-term change because I want you guys to feel good all year, not just in January or February. You've got to put the work in. All of us do. Like, these kind of fad diets, that's why they don't work, because anything where it's like change your life in 3 days or in 3 steps or whatever it is, it doesn't work. Or lose weight in 8 days. It doesn't work because it's something that we just do really quickly. We haven't put the work in, and change is really hard. We need to respect it and just really commit to that. Number 3 is fuel yourself mentally and physically. I am such a big believer in the power of doing what makes us feel good and strong and confident and happy, because I really, really believe that if you are confident and you are happy and you're coming from that place, that everything else will flow. A positive mindset is not something we were just born with or that we can wake up in the morning with. It's something we have to work very, very hard at. But if we focus on what makes us feel positive and we keep bringing that positive stuff into our lives every single day, then that 100% will lead to positive mindset ongoing. Okay, so that's a little bit about me, what I've been up to with Whole Earth. Yeah, you guys have been amazing. We've absolutely been loving the goals that you've been sharing with us. And it's been so fun to see the kind of totally diverse goals that you've been sharing. I can't wait to go through some of them today. Some of my absolute favourites. I'm super proud of you all for like having these incredible goals and being really realistic about them and just going for it. So we've got our first question in. It's from Jeff. Hi Jeff, thanks for turning up. Jeff has said, am I supposed to read this out?
Yeah, you know that.
I would just like to thank you for everything you have done for me, just by all your Facebook and Twitter stuff and for your training tips. Thank you, Jeff. That really means a lot. I appreciate it. So, Jeff, maybe we can ask Jeff, do you have a goal you can share with us? I'm not sure you've already shared yours with us, but just to kick things off, I'm going to start by sharing Heather Marie Jenkins. By the way, if you can see me looking down, it's just because I'm looking at the laptop where I've written down some people's goals. So I'm not diverting my attention, but that's just where I'm looking. Definitely not eyeing up the peanut butter snacks yet. Heather Marie says, I've always been a yo-yo when it comes to fitness, but this year I want to change my mindset and plan to achieve a good fitness level and maintain it. I've signed up to several 10K races with the goal to completing the Spartan race in September. Okay, Heather, I think this is amazing. I've chosen this one to kick it off because you guys know I'm a massive fan of taking on challenges, and I just think that they are the best way to really make a big change in your life. Like, the things that a challenge can bring to your life are these. 1, it's an incredible goal. 2, it's an amazing experience that will totally ask you to change. I think the journey for me on the way to each one of my challenges, whether it was my first triathlon or cycling to Paris for the first time or my first Ironman, or I recently did World's Toughest Mudder, which is a 24-hour obstacle race in Vegas. Each time I've done one of these challenges, like, the way that you change and the people that I've met and the things that I've learned about nutrition and training, and I've been on training camps and I've made so many friends and I've learned about new sports and technique, and it's so exciting. It's a whole new world that can open up for you. For example, if you're going to do a triathlon, you can join a training club and find people to train with, and it's a really positive way to motivate yourself to exercise more, to move more, to have something that you can share with your friends and family. You can raise money for charity potentially. So there's so much that you can do there. I'd really advise you to find a challenge that inspires you, because like I said, when the going gets tough, you need to know this is something that you are super committed to, and I think that you'll absolutely love it. So yeah, focus on the journey. I think that's like the really, really cool part. And Heather, you know, I totally honestly get what you mean about yo-yoing. I've been doing challenges now for 9 years, and I've spent so many years of those like yo-yoing in between challenges. I totally get it. It's really hard, especially because, you know, we kind of like go all guns blazing at something and then life gets in the way. And you know what? That happens. If it happens, then you just get back on the horse, you pick yourself up, you start again, and you keep on going. Okay, so good luck to everyone who's doing a challenge this year. One thing is that I don't know if you guys have heard of the Man versus Horse. It's a 22-mile trail marathon, and it's happening in June, and I'm doing it with Whole Earth. So if you want to come and crush an awesome race and meet me and race with me and eat loads of peanut butter, I've been assured that all the rest stops are fueled with these amazing energy balls I absolutely love. Applications are now open. You can enter it on your own or you can do it in a relay. So the option is there. Okay, so Jeff has submitted his goal. He said he's going to try and do the Castle 100 charity ride in Tunbridge, but he's going to try and do the 125-mile route. That's epic. If you guys are cyclists, you probably know that cycling 100 miles is called a century. It's actually a really huge achievement to any cyclist, but especially when you're first getting into cycling, doing your first century is massive. So yeah, Jeff, that's awesome. Go for it. Gonna smash it. Okay, so now we're going to move on to a healthy eating goal, because we've been getting quite a lot of these. It is January. I know everyone is trying to kind of change their habits. So Vicky said, I'd love to keep stocked healthy, easy snacks ready for work so I don't fall prey to biscuits. Now, I totally understand how hard that is, because so many offices have like so many biscuits and chocolates around, and I actually used to work in this office, and in the fridge, instead of having food in one of the drawers in the fridge, they had a whole drawer full of chocolate bars, and it was ridiculous. And I actually remember one time I was in January and I was trying to do, or I was doing this nutrition plan, which was like a massive detox, and it was great, and I learnt loads in that nutrition plan, but every time you go to the fridge and get some milk out for your tea, you're like, why is there a whole drawer of chocolate bars here? That's really, really distracting. So nutrition for me is really simple. My energy is the most important thing to me. I do a lot. I have a lot of projects ongoing. I train a lot. I do a lot of challenges. I put a lot of stuff out on social media, and I want to be a positive force of energy in this world. So I guard my energy fiercely. Like, nothing will take that away from me. Actually, if you do follow me, you'll know that I've been ill this week, which has been so rubbish, and I hate it when that happens. So yeah, I've been focusing a lot since then on my energy management, on making sure that I eat right, get the right fuel into my body. But I just, there's nothing that I hate more than waking up and feeling groggy or tired and lack of motivation. And I know that food has a really huge part in that, because I've played around with my diet a lot. I've had so many times when I've fallen off the wagon, and I've had so many times when I've eaten really well, and I just try to do the best that I can. I don't get it right all the time, and I don't expect you to either. I think that all of us should go easy on ourselves, and not make ourselves feel bad if we haven't stuck to a rigid plan or whatever it is. Like, I don't restrict anything from my diet. I train hard, really hard, and I like to enjoy my food just as much as anyone else does. And I think that's just a really important part of being happy and having a happy kind of positive life. So we've got a new goal in. The goal is from Tom. Tom, hi Tom. You are going to be attempting his first Everest attempt. That is massive. It's climbing 28,000 foot in 24 hours on the same hill. What are your tips for fueling for cycling up a hill for 24 hours? Now, just for those of you out there who don't know, Everesting is this new kind of cycling phenomena that happened in the last year or so, where cyclists cycle up the height of Mount Everest on a hill. So Tom, this is absolutely massive. I might actually have to come and join you maybe. So the tips for fueling for cycling up a hill in 24 hours. I've cycled a lot of times for 24 hours. And the one thing that I remember so clearly that someone taught to me, and this applies to any kind of like challenge or race that you're doing, but especially if it's something that's got that endurance element, is little and often. You never, ever, ever want to feel hungry, thirsty, or tired. You never want to let your body go into that red. You never like sit down and have a whole meal. You would just snack on half a bar and a couple of sips at a time. So definitely just keeping that like total, that constant level of of fueling is so important. The other thing that I always focus on is like when I did World's Toughest Mudder, for example, I knew that I was going to be in the pain cave for so much of that time. I knew it was going to hurt like hell. And so I had all these snacks. I actually had the most fun I've ever had in a supermarket the day before the race, because we were in America and we went to the supermarket and we bought so much amazing food, like chocolate covered pretzels and Reese's peanut butter cups and, you know, coconut chips, and it was just muffins and cookies, like everything. Because I remember someone saying to me, when it's the middle of the night and it's freezing cold and you're running around the desert in a wetsuit and you're exhausted, you're just going to want to have food that you like, that makes you feel happy and good. So that's what I did. So let's have a look. Anna Jade Robertson, thanks Anna for submitting your question. What do you think about rest days? Can you exercise 2 days in a row? Anna, yes, you can absolutely exercise 2 days in a row. Sometimes I exercise 6 times in a day. No, not often, but I have done when I'm training for a big event. Now, rest days are almost as important, if not more important, than the days that you're exercising and training. How much you can exercise and how much you need to rest, like, totally and utterly depends on you. And what I would say is the number one thing is to listen to your body. Your body is so good at giving you signs. And I often get asked why I don't get injured very often. And I am actually pretty good at listening to my body. The moment I have a niggle or I feel like I'm pushing it too far, then I just ease off. And that's what I would say to you, like, just do what feels right. You know, you can't just go from 0 to hero. If you're currently not exercising at all, don't go to do it every day. But if you exercise and then you feel really good and you're like, do you know what? I love the gym. I want to go back again tomorrow. Then go back again tomorrow. After that, you might be feeling quite tired and you might think, well, actually, now I want to take 2 days off. Do it. Whatever you think is good. Like, that consistency in your training is really, really important. So I would advise in the first instance to build up to like 3 days a week on the same days. But after that, then, you know, yeah, you can go, girl. Go for it. Alex Thomas, I've got, hi, what do you eat for breakfast? Wish to share, thank you. Okay, I have 2 breakfasts mainly that I have, 3 actually. So the first one I have is scrambled eggs, spinach and avocado. It's super high in protein, it's really great to fuel with, and it's super easy and quick to eat, to make. The second one I have is this overnight oats. So I put oats and almond milk and chia seeds and peanut butter and banana and pomegranate seeds into this jar, shake it all up, put it in the fridge, leave it overnight. It literally takes like 1 minute to make and it's so delicious. And then my third one is I make smoothies a lot. So I make smoothies when I get back from the gym because I can chuck a load of high protein stuff in there and it just is awesome. Okay, Lee, thanks for your goal or your question. Are 5K park runs the best way to start running outdoors? It's a really good question, Lee, because a lot of people just run indoors. And if you know me, you'll know that I'm a massive outdoor sports person. Actually, I love it. I definitely think, yeah, absolutely. Like a 5K park run is a fantastic way to start exercising and running outdoors because, you know, you've got like the motivation of everyone. You don't need to think about your route. You can just go and do it. And you know what? I always see people coming back from park runs and they're always smiling and they look like they had a really awesome time. So do it. Okay, cool. So now I'm going to just go back to one of the goals that got submitted earlier. This one is about returning to exercise after an injury or illness. Now this is from Rachel. Her goal, she said, I had an operation on my back to rectify a disc problem I've been suffering for over 2 years. I'm doing physio exercise and hoping to go back to yoga in 5 weeks. My goal this year is to gain more core strength and be able to touch my toes. Okay, Rachel, first of all, like, amazing that you took that decision and took the surgery that you've been, you know, suffering with your back for so long. I can't imagine how difficult that must have been. I hope that you're seeking professional help and guidance about your rehab, but I can give you a bit of like motivational advice and just generally help you out with that, making sure you've got that positive mindset. So I always say to people, because I have actually met and spoken to a lot of people who are kind of like coming back to exercise after a break, and the most important thing is to like totally assess where you are today, because I think that what we do is we can remember the person that we were, you know, before we had that injury or illness, and we put that person on a pedestal, and we're like, I won't be happy until I get back to being that person. But the thing is like, you've changed, you've had this trauma in your life, you've had this setback that you now need to overcome and work through. And, you know, the person that you are now and the person that you're going to be is totally different. You're never going to get back to being that same person. And my concern is that people put that person on a pedestal and they're not happy until they feel like they're going to get there. So please assess where you are today. Don't compare yourself to the person you used to be, and just move forward from who you are. Take it one step at a time. Like, I know it sounds so obvious, but all of us, like, we can just dream big and, you know, try to look at where we want to get to and just try to get there really, really quickly. Being kind to yourself, taking it one step at a time. I talk about this a lot, like, go easy on yourself, because, you know, there's so much stuff going on. You're recovering from an illness and a setback in your life. Life gets in the way, there's a lot of pressure, so just focus on what makes you feel positive and confident, and I know that the rest will come from there. Okay, the next goal that we've had a lot of goals submitted around this idea, and obviously this is one of my favourites as well. It's about having adventures. So Terry wrote to us with her goal, and she said to explore more with these two nutters, Enzo and Dexter. I think that's her dogs. And make more time to plan new adventures and enjoy them wherever they may take us. Now, I absolutely love this one. I don't have a dog, but my brother has a dog, and I love his dog. I love going on adventures with my brother and his dog and his baby, and just going for walks. It's so fun. Now, adventures are an incredibly awesome way to explore the world, to make new friends, to give yourself like a really exciting goal that inspires you to get fit, get out there, try something new. And I think that like one of my general things that I love to champion about exercise in general, about positive habits, like whatever it is that you're doing, you've got to try and find the fun in it, because I feel like so often we look at exercise as this sort of you know, it's a chore, it's a negative, or eating healthy means that you know, it's a sacrifice, it's all these kind of things. And I used to feel like that loads. I used to, you know, I'm a very naturally motivated person, but I didn't always find it easy to like eat well or to go to the gym every day. But now I do, because it's such a huge part of my life. But that's taken years and years and years to get there. So I think that it's about taking these small steps, like finding the fun in it, creating something for you in your life that you love, that you feel that you're making progress with, and that you're proud of, because that is the only thing that matters. The only thing that matters is that you feel good about you, about who you are, about what you're doing, and yeah, that's really all that matters. So get out there and have some amazing adventures, guys. Now, the final one that we got a lot of goals and questions around in the last couple of weeks is around this positive mindset. Rebecca shared with us her goal. My feel-good goal for 2017 is pretty simple, but really important to me. I just want to love myself again. I've spent most of my life hating the way that I look, so I want to change that by getting back to the gym, being more active, eating to feel good and fuel my body, and working on loving everything about myself, even the parts that I think are flawed. Now, this one actually really upset me when I read it, because I really hate the idea of anyone thinking that any part of themselves is flawed. And you know, I'm going to talk again about this idea around confidence training. It's something that I talk about quite a lot on my social media. I also wrote a blog about confidence training about a year ago. You know, it's just, we don't just wake up and feel confident. We don't just born into that confidence. it's something that we need to commit to, and we need to actively go out and train every single day. And that is what the mountains brought for me. Like, I always felt like life tries to make you fit into these boxes, and if you don't fit into that box, you feel like you're not good enough. You feel like society doesn't, accept you because you don't, you're not smart enough to be in that box, or you don't look the right part, you're not socially acceptable, whatever it was. I have had all of those things, and what changed it was when I found the mountains, and when I started creating these physical challenges for myself. It completely and utterly transformed my confidence and my self-belief, and it just made me feel like, hold on a sec, if the world is telling me like I need to be this person to do X or to be accepted, but if I can go out and climb these mountains and do these things that once seemed like the kind of thing that someone else would do, or just seemed totally impossible, then maybe being me is a really great place to be. And that was so important for me. And that is the thing that I would say is like, to Rebecca and anyone else who feels this way, like maybe they're not good enough, or you're struggling with confidence, or struggling with loving yourself, or feeling like any part of you is flawed. You are amazing and strong and beautiful and unique. But me sitting here telling you this is not going to make you feel that way. You have to focus on the things that make you feel that way. You have to go outside. You have to go out every single day and prove it to yourself, okay? So you have to prove to yourself how amazing, strong, and brilliant you are. And just do what makes you feel happy. Like, I really don't think it's that complicated. Like, you do what makes you feel happy, you do the things that make you feel good, you prove to yourself that you're amazing, and then you go off and do more amazing things. Okay? Right. We've had another Q&A from Anna Jade Robertson. Anna said, thanks for your advice. I've been doing alternate rest exercise days, but I find that quite restrictive. Listening to my body sounds good. Really love seeing your inspirational female athletes. That's awesome, Anna. I think that, yeah, like I said before, you should totally just go for it, and keep enjoying it. So, guys, just wanted to say thanks so much for joining us on this Q&A with Whole Earth today. For the rest of January, we've still got another 2 or 3 videos, I think, to share. You keep please sending in your goals. All you need to do is to reply in the comments to either any of my posts or Whole Earth's posts with the hashtag FeelGood, and that's it. Huh?
That's great.
That's it. Thanks so much. Have a great rest of your week. Bye.